You formed an LLC. You paid the filing fee. You did everything right. And now you feel protected. Here's what nobody told you. An LLC is not a shield. It's a fence. And fences have gaps. A restaurant owner in Ohio formed an LLC in 2021. A customer slipped on a wet floor. The lawsuit that followed went after the business and the owner personally, because the owner had no business insurance. The LLC protected almost nothing. Final judgment? $340,000. If you have an LLC, or you're thinking about forming one, this video is going to show you exactly why insurance is the part of the equation most business owners completely skip, what happens when you do, and the 4 policies that actually protect everything you've built. Let's get into it. Quick note, if you watched our last video on freelancer insurance, welcome back. This one builds on that. If you haven't seen it, no worries, everything here stands on its own. But if you're running an LLC, the rules are different from freelancing, and I'll explain exactly how. As always, not a lawyer, not an insurance agent. Just someone who has done the research so you don't have to. And stick with me to the end because I'm going to cover one policy that almost every LLC owner skips. And it's the one that matters most when things go seriously wrong. Let's start with the most important thing to understand. An LLC, a limited liability company, is designed to separate your personal assets from your business assets. If your business gets sued, the theory is that your personal savings, your car, your home, those stay protected. And in many cases, that's true. But there are 3 situations where that protection evaporates completely, and they happen more often than you'd think. Situation 1. Personal guarantees. If you ever signed a lease, loan, or contract personally on behalf of your LLC, which almost every new business owner does, you are personally on the hook for that. The LLC wall doesn't apply. Situation 2. Piercing the corporate veil. This is legal language for when a court decides your LLC isn't really operating as a separate entity. Mixing personal and business bank accounts. Paying personal expenses from the business account. Not keeping proper records. Any of these can cause a judge to ignore the LLC entirely and come after you personally. Situation 3. Your own negligence. An LLC protects you from business debts. It does not protect you from your own actions. If you personally caused harm, a car accident while making a delivery, an injury on your property, a mistake you made directly, you can still be personally sued regardless of the LLC. This is why insurance isn't optional for LLC owners. It's the thing that fills the gaps the LLC leaves open. Alright, let's talk about the actual policies. There are 4 you need to know about. 2 are essential for almost every LLC. 1 is situational. And 1 is the underrated one I mentioned, the one that covers you when everything else fails. Policy 1. General liability insurance. This is your foundation. General liability covers physical damages. A customer gets injured at your location, you accidentally damage a client's property, someone claims your product or service caused them physical harm. If you have any physical interaction with customers, clients, or the public, this is non-negotiable. Most commercial leases actually require proof of general liability before you can even sign. For a small LLC, general liability starts around $40 to $60 per month. For the protection it provides, it's one of the best value purchases a small business owner can make. Policy 2. Professional liability, also called E&O. If your LLC provides any kind of service, consulting, design, development, coaching, marketing, accounting, you need this. Professional liability covers claims that your work caused a client financial harm, a mistake in your deliverable, advice that didn't work out, a deadline you missed that cost the client money. General liability doesn't cover any of this. Professional liability does. Policy 3. Business Owner's Policy, called a BOP. A BOP bundles general liability and commercial property insurance into a single, discounted package. If your LLC has any physical assets, equipment, inventory, furniture, a computer setup, a BOP protects those assets against theft, fire, and damage alongside your liability coverage. Buying them bundled is almost always cheaper than buying separately. If you're paying rent on an office or commercial space, A BOP is usually the smarter by over standalone general liability. Policy 4, the one nobody talks about, umbrella insurance. Here's the scenario. A large lawsuit comes in. The damages exceed your general liability policy limit. Without umbrella insurance, everything above that limit is on your business, and potentially on you personally. Umbrella insurance sits on top of your other policies and kicks in when their limits run out. Think of it as the safety net under the safety net. For most small LLCs, a $1 million umbrella policy costs between $300 and $500 per year. That's less than $50 a month. And it's the difference between a lawsuit settling within your policy limits and a lawsuit threatening everything your LLC owns. I want to clear up one thing I see confusing people constantly online. Your LLC does not insure your physical stuff. If your laptop gets stolen, your LLC gives you zero. If your office floods and your equipment is destroyed, your LLC does nothing. The LLC is a legal structure, not an insurance policy. It has never covered physical assets and it never will. This is why the BOP exists. And this is why so many LLC owners who thought they were covered find out the hard way that they weren't, because they confused having an LLC with having insurance. They are completely different things. One is a legal structure. The other is financial protection. You need both. Let's talk real numbers. Here's what you should expect to pay as a small LLC for each of these policies. General liability, roughly $40 to $80 per month for most service-based small businesses. Product-based businesses or higher-risk industries will pay more. Professional liability, $25 to $60 per month depending on your industry and revenue. Consultants and tech companies tend to pay on the higher end. Creative freelancers and coaches often pay toward the lower end. Business owners policy, $50 to $100 per month for most small businesses. This bundles general liability plus property, so it's usually cheaper than buying both separately. Umbrella policy, roughly $25 to $40 per month for a $1 million policy on top of your existing coverage. Pound for pound the cheapest protection on this list given what it covers. So a fully protected small LLC, general liability, professional liability, and an umbrella policy is looking at roughly $90 to $180 per month total. For most businesses, that's less than what they spend on software subscriptions. And it covers you against events that can end the business entirely. For getting quotes, the same providers I covered in the freelancer video apply here. Next Insurance and Hiscox both handle LLC coverage. Links are in the description. Get a free quote. It takes under 5 minutes and you'll know your exact number. Let's wrap this up. If you have an LLC, here's your checklist. 1. Your LLC protects your personal assets in theory, but has 3 major gaps: personal guarantees, piercing the corporate veil, and your own direct negligence. Insurance fills those gaps. 2. General liability is your foundation. Professional liability covers your work. A BOP bundles property coverage in. And umbrella insurance is the underrated one that protects you when everything else runs out. 3. Full LLC insurance coverage costs $90 to $180 per month for most small businesses. Less than your software stack. Non-negotiable for anything you've built that you actually care about protecting. Get a free quote today. The link is in the description, and actually do it. Most people will watch this video, think, I should do that, and do nothing. Don't be most people. Next week I'm covering the insurance every online store needs, whether you're on Shopify, Etsy, or Amazon FBA. Product liability is a completely different world from what we covered today, and most e-commerce sellers have none of it. Subscribe so you catch that one, and I'll see you there.